that.
Hello and welcome to the Experience Podcast. I am a multi-dimensional spiritual being that's having a human experience, and I'm in the presence of two super powerful creators, one by the name of Dennis and another by the name of Portugal. And I'm blessed and honored to be in your presence today. Um, so, Dennis, if you want to introduce yourself, and then Portugal, you as well, and we'll continue and flow from there.
My name is Dennis, and I am a flash of light, savoring every moment of time.
And I am Portugal, and I am a light being and an energy healer, and I am in love with the creation.
Flow is a nice place to be at.
Absolutely.
Have you always been an energy healer?
Absolutely. Just not aware of it, but yes. Actually, yes. I was not aware of it, but absolutely, yes. It's a great space. It's a great flow. Life transpires and happens, but this experience of love that I have experienced, it's amazing.
That's great to hear. I feel like a softness and presence when you speak, and I'm curious, has this always been there for you?
Um, it's been internally, this it always has been, it has always kept me through. It's always been here. It's always been here. But yeah, I've never, really expressed it so much until I got into just things transpiring. So yeah, I was led to this space but I'm grateful to be here.
I can definitely feel your presence, Portugal, and I am super, super grateful that you're here. Um, can you give a little bit of background as far as like your life's journey and how you discovered this presence within you? Like, how did this
Hmm.
state of being that you're in presently, like how did this kind of unfold in your life, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
Absolutely. Um, from child, young, um, just being such a light being and loving life and always embracing and just only seeing and feeling love. And once I experienced it about maybe 5, I was experienced to something that didn't feel love. I knew it wasn't, was, a different feeling. But regardless of, nothing stopped the feel of energy and the feel of flow and love that I have within me. So childhood adversities transpired in my life that I was not aware of until I became an adult and saw how it affected my life. Regardless of what I still loved, I still cared, I was still there. And I found myself as a mother, and just the love there kept me. But the love for myself externally was not what it needed to be. But my love for others was always there. And I found myself journaling the feelings that didn't resonate so well with me, and cleaning those out. And that's kind of sort of where I got led on this space of healing and self-awareness and self-discovery, and just feeling different in life and feeling like, okay, I'm always not getting what I'm putting out, but still always having, just still remaining love, still remaining me, that inner, nothing could tear it out. So just that space of just, just me is just, yeah, that's kind of sort of where it started. But just a lot of childhood adversities in life, trauma, abuse, things that people go through, which is, my purpose in here. There's just love. If that explains it, Dennis.
That's like a piece. So when you were journaling about like things that weren't resonating and things that you were experiencing that were like maybe not in alignment with where you want to go and with the greater purpose, um, was that sort of a beginning step for you in this journey of remembering, or what was like a first step for you?
The first step for me in the journey of remembering, actually, I probably was about, I was a young adult, and I remember walking, and I remember just having this presence and just a feeling of, and I didn't have children at that time, but just a feeling of wholeness, a feeling of embrace, a feeling of there was something more, and just a feeling of a calling and a yearning for myself. So that probably was, my first encounter, my first experience of knowing that, okay, I'm here, or there's a whole purpose in this whole field of universe that, I am a part of.
So there you are walking, and you have this experience of feelings of there's more.
Right,
I have a purpose,
right.
and that like I'm here for a reason. And what transpired next?
What transpired next was just a series of life continuing to happen, just my strength in going forward, and just a more of a desire to know what it was and how I could get there, and just expose more people to it, and also expose myself to just figure out who I was and where I was supposed to be.
So, and now to present day, like right now, who are you supposed to be?
Right now, I am forever evolving. And I am, I like just my light, my love, like my presence. And it's not me. Of course, I don't mean to be me, but we're connected. We're all, love. So just that is me pretty much. The Portugal experience is my experience of love on this earth. But yeah, the who I'm supposed to be is continuing. But where I am now in my who I'm supposed to be is right where I am supposed to be and where I need to be. And like I was telling Dennis before, is just the past 4 months of life has just come into, this is who you are, this is what you're doing, and this is your purpose here. The light, the love, the energy. I'm so needed. I'm so required. And like I say, it's not me. It's not Portugal, what you see, but it's what you feel. So the me that I feel and the me that is felt, I embraced it and I love it. And I'm grateful and appreciative for it. So just at this space and place, because like back then and throughout situations in life, I wasn't. It's just really dark spaces, dark times internally, never reflected on the outside towards anyone else. It was always internal. I always felt like it was me, something was wrong. And why? If I compare it to anything external, but internal, there was just so much love, so much light. So here now, present me is just lit and just ready to just shine. Like it's just like I'm not afraid to shine anymore. Or not
Hallelujah.
afraid to glow. That the spark is there. Like I always
Yeah.
like stars. Like when you get in school, you get a star. Just that lovely, amazing boom is like just that, just that love, just that presence.
So what you just said, like, do you feel like that was a journey of going from your head to your heart? Like
Mm,
that transition of where you always felt that that love was there within you, but there was a time you were talking about, there was a time where you didn't really weren't like to the
right.
capacity that you are now,
Absolutely.
connected to just glowing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what was the question about it? I was going through it with you, but yeah.
Yeah, so the question was like that journey from, do you feel like there was a journey of being in your head and
Absolutely.
then like living in your head and then living like how you're currently living in from your heart?
Yes, because living from my head was what I was accustomed to, is what I was introduced to, was the norm, is what's expected. And that's, like I said, with me, even with walking that field at that time in life, it was a different space. My parents were divorced and life was happening. I was 18. I didn't know where I was gonna be going. So, and like I said, on top of just, I came to learn that they were childhood adversities, just going through those points and spaces in life. So you want to have life reflect the way that, your parents expect, or the world expects, or the common day in day out hustle and bustle. So of course I was completely and totally in my head. And once I got a place of so much hurt and pain, and I, like I said, when I was journaling, and I was like, these words don't resonate with me. I feel this pain, but I don't feel it in my heart. Like it's not going to deter me. And I think I might have written that down, like I won't be broken, or I won't change. I can't change because of the fact of what I've allowed some things to happen and transpire within my life, which I'm appreciative of at this point. But it's just with going through and being in my head, yes, life was supposed to look this way, and I was making it look that way, but I never felt like I feel now, ever, ever. Now it's like, and like you guys have just said, now life isn't externally like what, but in here, I have no choice. There's nothing else. Is here. There's nothing else. Like, okay, all right.
And then that can just be expressed outward. Um, I find it really fascinating, and I feel into like wherever we're at, we're supposed to be at, and how do I know that? It's because you're there,
True.
and um, so I feel like this idea of trying to get somewhere or trying to accomplish something or have like lofty goals, it's great, and it's great to have goals, not for the purpose of the goal, but for the purpose of the growth that happens in like going towards a goal.
Right.
And but even when we're like going for something or like wanting this opportunity, you're already perfect where you're at. And recognizing that has been so profound for me. And there's been times when like I I didn't feel like great on the inside,
Absolutely.
and like my external environment was reflecting that back to me
True.
in less than ideal situations. Most of the ways that it was being reflected was through other people, so my direct mirrors, the conversations that I was having, and who I was having those conversations with. And then what now that I've and through that, I began to embody a new feeling, and this new feeling was one of gratitude, one of love, one of appreciation, one of recognizing the connectedness that we all are. And like now, my external reality like reflects that. Um, and it was also reflecting the less than ideal situations when I was feeling that way. And something that I heard when you spoke was that there was a time when you weren't feeling that great. Was your external reality at that time reflecting that back to you? Or was your external, did you have it kind of nice? Were you at a decent space even when you were feeling not so okay inside? What was that experience like for you?
Okay, yes, absolutely. Life reflected exactly how I was feeling externally, which is how I know right now these things will change. This too shall change. However, during those times, yes, life reflected in the exact same way that I wanted it to. Externally, I found out that people saw it differently. But for me, relationships, if I wasn't going through certain things in relationships, I didn't feel that love from another, but that was something that I was dealing with internally. So it reflected on the outside. Like I said, the only piece in with that happened and transpired in those times were my children. But as far as anything that dealt with me, because I didn't have that love for myself, I, would seek, or I guess I would draw people to me who felt the same way or who were going through the same situations or who felt the same things as I did. So relationships didn't look the way they needed to. Um, Living conditions always felt like there should be more, and just giving, 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 and not seeing it reflect what I wanted to see. So it absolutely shows on the outside how I felt on the inside, and it reflected through my, people that would come my way. And I felt as if I'm going to help these people and I'm going to be there for them. And I was forgetting about me. And not so much forgetting about me, but I needed to fix or help me get through what I needed to get through, so that the things on the outside of my life would start to reflect how I was feeling on the inside. And the inside that I have now is, yeah, I've explained it.
So, was there a point where you were giving so much to your external, like to your friends and to your family, that you didn't have anything to give yourself?
I didn't have anything to give myself. And at that point, with the traumas I had dealt with of neglect in some situations, I felt like that was, was required. Pretty much that was normal for me. That was what was needed. That kept me going. And that's how I kind of sort of got to slow down, working from home and things like that. I wasn't going. The children are older. I'm getting older. Like life is just like, okay, it's your turn. And smack, you keep going through these cycles. Like, do something. Like, I think I was listening to something, when I used to go to work in the morning before, when I was working, and it was listen to the whispers. And if you don't listen to the whispers, they become thumps. So I got tired of that. So yeah, that part definitely, yeah.
Can you share an example when a whisper turned into a thump for you?
A whisper turned into a thump for me when I decided to be a parent, like the parent that I was working in office environment, and I had been through absolutely too much within that corporation, and in the situation transpired. My mom got sick, so I had to take care of that. On top of it, it was COVID. My children, life was happening for me, but I had to make a decision that was better for me. And the decision didn't, sit so well because it wasn't my norm. But regardless of what, I trusted the process to the point where, okay, this dump has hit, because like I said, when it was my mother, I had just went through a series of family situations where we lost loved ones, and it was just spiraling and just transpiring, just spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. And I'm like, okay, if I don't do something different, then I may not have the opportunity to do anything at all. So I made a decision to move forward with life, trust my process, and just continue on doing what I needed to do, even to the point of with my mother, saying, hey, I'm here for you, but I can't be here for you too much. I can't bend, my exact words were, I can't bend over too far to reach you because I'm gonna fall myself. So yeah, that was
That is a great analogy. I love that. Um, like I directly relate with you because most of my life, like I've been a people pleaser. I've been like um, outputting all this energy and attention to other people, and then recognizing that, like, hey, it's time to take care of Neil.
yeah,
That way, because once I'm taken care of, the energy that I output is so much more.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And when I had that switch, it opened up a new world for me.
Right. Yes. It definitely does. And the same for me, like just after that situation and just being home and just involving myself with so many self-help things and becoming into like, I had opportunities to do my nature walks and meditate and read things and just, connect more with so much energy and love and light, and it just all transpires and it just comes together and it just feels amazing. It just feels really, really good.
So you mentioned trauma like earlier in your life. What was that like? What did that look like when dealing with that trauma? Like, how did you overcome, or how did you uh, evolve from that trauma? Like, if somebody's listening today, like, what could you offer somebody? Like, I believe that everybody has some kind of trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's just buried so deep that we don't even see it, or we refuse to look at it because we're just going with life. What could you say to like that kind of a person where they might feel empty inside,
Mm-hmm.
or can you speak on that a little bit?
Absolutely. And for me with those times, like I said, I just kept going. I've always had love for myself, and actually just be very transparent and current to date, my children have been traumatized. I mean, we just did an exercise today. So for someone who's going through a dark space, or just someone who doesn't have that love for self, or you just feel like empty or hopeless on the inside, I've felt those days before, where the light on the inside of me just always pushed me through. I felt horrible, like my heart would feel like it had a hole in it. But I never, there was always just something in the pit of my stomach, in my heart, in my, just something there, that just an embrace of love that I knew mattered. Just continue to love yourself and just, continue to put yourself forward. Know that you matter. Know that you are here for a purpose and a reason. And sometimes we go through things to relate to others. We go through things to motivate and encourage others. It's not always about you, but it is about you because you're the person who is able to carry that light. And we're all here to help light one another. So you know how my favorite thing is ET. That light, like that you touch, it sparks. So it spreads more love and energy, and the way that things transpire in the world and people's homes, environments, and lives, and period. And sometimes it's just internal, where you're the worst enemy just because you're here, but just continue to push and go. But that was an exercise that I did with my children today, because I realized that they were, you can be traumatized as a baby, just laying in a crib or laying somewhere and not retaining that attention that you need. Like with my daughter, I nursed her. So with my son, I was back at work. He didn't get the same mom she got. He didn't get the same attention, love that she did from a baby. So I just, did a little thing, because I know when he was about 3 or 4, he's 16 now, but he did do a little twitching. And I was like, okay, I wonder, is there any underlying trauma within his body? And there was. But just taking that time for yourself, sit back, breathe, and appreciate who you are. Maybe journal and write the great things about yourself, and work in on those, hone in on the wonderful parts of the beautiful creation that you are, will always see you and get you through to that love and light, and direct and guide you along the path that you're destined to be on.
Mhm. I love that journaling. Like journaling is something that has been profound for myself in expressing how I'm feeling, and even to help and assist in the co-creation of my future in writing down new ideas and inspiration. So I've found journaling to be very profound in my own life. Would you be willing to share the exercise that you took your children through?
Yes. Yes.
I'm very curious.
Yes, it was. We actually just sat back, took a few minutes. You breathe in, then you let it out. And we're gonna do this 3 times. And then I had my son take his mouth and open it slightly. And when he opened it slightly, there may be a little resistance, it may not be. We did that a few times. And while he was in the process of opening and closing and noticing the resistance in his mouth and any tingling or anything that comes about, and the tingling eventually goes back and it spreads throughout your body. And um, it's just a way to release some of the trauma that may have been enforced in your life or caused in your life. And then after that, we did humming, which, because with energy healing and sound healing, it helps. So we did, it's a, it's a tone like a vroom. Let it go. And my son was actually able to, like, he remembered this time at the dentist where he was actually traumatized. And I was in the back with him, but he remembered the color, the space, the smell. He was able to release some things. It was just a technique that you use to breathe and let it go, let that negative energy flow out, let that trauma get released from your body. And it's pretty much remaining still and calm and staying within your breath, and you're able to be okay with, I've been traumatized, or my body is tight in this area, or I have this position of hurt and things that are still blocking me. So if you're going to unblock things and let them go and release them into the universe, then you're not retaining it, as your body and your spirit is able to continue to lift up and rise and connect with the energy space that is so looking to connect with you.
That's amazing. Thank you for that insight and that exercise.
Yes. I didn't even know you asked me for the whole exercise, but I had to go through it. I'm sorry.
That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, with your energy healing work, like you've always been a healer, probably even before this life, probably many lifetimes. And so, present day, like how did this come about with you recognizing your healing abilities And then also with your application of that in the real world, what does that look like for you?
That looks like for me, I have I'm implementing a program to help others help themselves through situations and things like this. For me, when I got started with the energy healing, like I said, just being home and practicing Reiki and meditation and yoga and things like that, it helped me with my traumas because I had childhood trauma, adversity, anxiety. There's a lot of stuff. It helped me get through it, and the sound healing with the energy bowls, singing bowls, or whatever, any type of music. I love dancing. But yeah, for me to implement to help someone else get through those processes and get through those challenges through sound. But Reiki for me, Reiki healing and just learning that for me, that was like a program I had purchased years ago and I never finished it, and then it all lines up. I'm like, I had this so long ago, but now it was me. It was for me. It resonated so well. So it was like, okay, just things lining up so great for me. But yes, I like I said, I'm implementing so many things right now, but as far as just helping to heal through Reiki and whatever, self-guided meditation, yoga, self-development, energy healing, the program will include Reiki affirmations, resources for mental health, anxiety, depression, self-healing, self-love, and acceptance. So that's it.
And are any of those or all of those currently available? Like, could people reach out to you and
Yeah.
like for assistance with mental health things, for assistance with trauma? Are you a resource that people could reach out to?
Yes, they can reach out with the Portugal experience. The program that I'm implementing will be Evolve Wellness. That is the Portugal experience is my business. Um, I have Evolve Wellness as a doing business as under it, because with that program I'm implementing veterans being peer support specialists or peer support for themselves to help them heal through life traumas and situations and things that they may have been going through. And then on the opposite scale with the Portugal experience, it's just life, your experience in life, and helping you get through and heal your experiences in life. And I do have a website for the Portugal experience, and I kind of sort of started a YouTube, but I am going to be doing more on that platform as well, with YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, just putting up shorts and just things like that, just encouraging things for maybe exercises you can maybe do, or something that you can check in. And maybe if you're having a bad day or a great day and you just want someone to communicate or connect with, do one-on-one sessions, just implementing things that will help us remain love. But yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And do you have a website for that, Portugal, or do you have a Facebook page or a phone number or something that people can reach you on that? Like, can you do long distance healing and etc.?
Yes, I do virtual. All of these things, I apologize, they are virtual, online. The programs I have not implemented and put on my site, but they will be up soon. I was planning on launching them today. But yeah, I'm making sure that everything is all together. And so yeah, I've been supposed to have been launching it for so long, but life is happening. So it's just like, okay, I'm gonna get it done. Yes.
I'm holding you to that, Portugal. I want to see it by tonight, or I'm gonna come find you.
Exactly. I promise I will. I was doing an entrepreneurship program because I kept thinking with this journey, oh, I need to do this, or I need to do that, or I need this certification, I need to help this, and I need to help that. And throughout all of this process, I was like, hold up, I have this resource and that resource, and I can just be resourceful and retain my love and light, and this is what I'm gonna do. So it made it easier for me. So I had to narrow it down something, because at first I wanted to, hey, I can do it all, but no, I'm not gonna do it. We're here for each other for a purpose. So definitely it'll be launched. I'll have it up tonight, Dennis. I appreciate that. But yes, and like I say, I will do shorts and just, just little small things. But please, please, please reach out. I am here, and we'll just see how it transpires and how it goes, because like I said, I am that love and I am that light and healing, and I'm relatable, so you're not alone in any process. That is probably my majorest thing. I've always felt alone, or always felt like I didn't matter, but I learned I needed to matter to me.
Yes, very much. And you do matter, and we matter.
Yes, we do.
And I got a question on that, Portugal. Like, do you feel like you need to do something or be something to matter?
No, I'm all energy. I'm all light. Like I just feel it flowing through me now. So nothing is about me, but everything is about like I needed to be here, but it's definitely not about me. But I am required.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. Y'all are beautiful too. Yes.
Well, when you look around and see beauty, like I find it very simple to
Yeah.
vocalize that because I see it everywhere.
I'm sure I'm coming. Yes, I know. Yeah, I do too. I actually found myself in the store and just embracing and just appreciating everyone that I was connected to, and just offering just so much love. It was an amazing experience. I had never did that before. Walking into a public place and just being able to feel nothing but love. I've been times where I've noticed or felt judged or felt, but no, not at all now. It's like, wow, it's amazing. Like everything, the tree, like everything is just great.
How do you feel like walking into a store like that and connecting with everything? Like what's your state of being like?
Bliss and appreciation. Just appreciation for knowing now, I think there's been times where I wouldn't go into a place, or I'm really private now still, but that's by choice. But before I was just ashamed, or I was just ashamed and just didn't feel worthy of, but like I say, I've learned at this point where those emotions and thoughts and things transpired and, came from. So I'm okay with it. Like really, really okay with it. But just being in that space of bliss and appreciation, it's a lot. And then you want to, of course, be like, just grab everybody and hug them or say something, but it's like, you can make connections with the eyes, and then I'll still put my mask on, but I just can make connection with the eyes and just smile. I just I just like to maybe protect my energy in some type of way while I am out, but just knowing that I'm there, and my love and presence is there, and connecting with so many other beautiful souls. It's amazing, actually.
What was your home life like growing up?
Growing up, it was really before 5. I lived with my grandparents. I was born premature. So when I came home, I stayed with my grandparents when I was 5 and able to go to school. That was amazing. Like my grandmother had this nickname for me, but my aunt brought up a story with me. She was like, "You were always so loving and always giving everybody hugs," because it was 5 children and my grandparents. My mother was the oldest, but she didn't live there. But anyway, just waiting for them to come home from school, just giving them love and appreciation and things like that. It was just really, really good. I will go on my first trauma. I'm not sure if you wanted to, but the first incident of my trauma was I was 5, and I remember like now where I am, I could see outside because it was a screen door, and I had came in and I love butterflies. We had butterflies, peacocks. I was Southern, so everything was grown. We didn't really eat meats. Everything was grown. Whatever animals we had, my grandfather sold them. So my home, it was perfect actually. I loved it. Like go out in the woods all day, make mud pies, just enjoy life in nature all day. But anyway, with I guess an uncle that was there, he touched me inappropriately. And I told my mom about it. My mom was like, "Oh, he does that to everyone." My first thought was, I'm not everybody. That don't happen to me. So it was like a very so it's like for me, I've been protecting myself my whole life. And of course, other things transpire after that incident. But initially, before 5 and just being there in that great space and that love and attention, it was wonderful. But like I said, that incident, I won't forget the way that it caused me to feel. And it felt like something was not right. But not right within me though, but just something wasn't right externally. And then after that, I went to live with my parents, and then they had another child. So I was in school. I was always quiet in school, always no bother, always to myself, always no friends, no, I didn't. My father was very strict, for various reasons. The home was very, they never showed love. Love wasn't a language. The way they showed love was making sure you had food. And we had, my father, his background, I guess they had a poor childhood. So he always made sure we had like labeled food or labeled homes. Like home life was great outside. They were both entrepreneurs, my parents, or they're still alive. They both entrepreneurs. Outside home looked great. Inside home was arguing, fussing, a lot inside the home. But they were doing what they thought they were supposed to do within that moment and just trying to do the best that they could with life. So I get that. So they provided for us. Me and my brother had 2 different childhoods, but for me, I was a girl, so I guess it was a little strict on me. I didn't go out. I didn't, do like teenage events or things like that. I was within the home. So childhood for me was okay in the beginning, but afterwards I felt neglect. I spent a lot of time in the closet. I spent a lot of time trying to defend myself within a space of 2 hurt people. But I did
Wow.
have an aunt who, she was really great. My aunt, she was one of the children who was at my grandparents' house, and she ended up having lupus forever. But she was my support, and that helped me through a lot, in life. But yeah, childhood,
So when you were living with your grandparents, where were your parents at that time?
they were in like a town over from where, not too far, maybe like 10 minutes or 10 miles up where we were. But they were in the city area more so because they were young. They were 18. My mother was 18 and my father probably like 21. So they were like in an apartment, and I just stayed with my grandparents until I was old enough to go to school. So
Do you
yeah,
see that as a blessing or as a curse, or how do you perceive that?
see that as a blessing, because if I had never been exposed to that type of love that I received from my grandparents and my aunts, and just that environment, I may not have been able to embrace the love, or just know what it was, or have to. I think it would have made it a little more difficult to get to where I am now, because I knew that foundation was there of love and of support, and I had that peace and that comfort. And it was, like I say, that incident that transpired, like that was shocking for me, because like I said before, it was just like outside playing. We had peacocks, we had horse, we had everything. Like it was just life.
So
And
this was on a farm.
kind
That's
of,
good.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a couple of acres. It was really, really nice. But yeah, that, like I said, after that, and then what was I about to say about just children? Like I tell my children now, because they were able to be in that environment, because we ended up staying about a mile from them. So my children like outside in nature. And then with us being in the city, I moved them because when I was working, got time to commute for an hour and a half. So when they got a little older to go to elementary school, my son and my daughter was in middle, they came to the city part, and both of my kids went through things in school. And I don't compare, but I feel like if you don't have that foundation, maybe sometime if you're used to being in, I'm not gonna say I will say a flight response, if you're used to always having to be aware of your surroundings at all times, I feel like it can affect you in a different way. Whereas then for me, I had the opportunity, or my children did have the opportunity to have a more peaceful or calmer life. Sometimes some children now, they are waking up to, all types of threats and things like that, and they don't get that peace, or you don't have that peace within your home. It could just be, like I say, for myself, we lived in nice areas, and outside looking in, you would think life was great, but I was going through hell inside the home. And the safe space was my closet, or maybe journaling, even at that age, just young, writing stuff down, writing my emotions down, and just trying to get through them. Like I didn't have an identity. I remember being in elementary school and the teacher asked me what was my name. And instead of me telling her my name, I was like, I'm his cousin. She was like, I know, but what is your, she was like, I know, dear, but what is
Wow.
your name? But that's just how invisible I felt at the
That's
time.
really great. I love that.
But yeah, so to get to this point and be able to put my name as an LLC is like, okay, I'm somewhere, I'm me. But yeah, I feel like if you don't have, that place of security from somewhere, and I get sometimes people just never ever have that. It can be difficult, like I have worked within a prison environment before I went to where I was for 16 years. I worked at a facilitation that was for people just different. Just life looks so different when you're in a space and you're confined and you're in your own headspace for so long. You can get lost. You can get really, really lost. So yeah, just that I appreciate just that whole background of knowing that there may be a different space, and it gives me a piece of being able to look back and reflect on my life in a great way. And I didn't have that adversity come about, and I can not compare, but I think, some children are born as babies and they go through stuff. So that period of peace for them may not ever happen. So I'm grateful for it.
It is something very much to be grateful for, and I feel like it's like a firm foundation of this is like uh, you can relate to it like a baseline. Like this is what we experience regularly, and like I can relate with having upbringing of love and of acceptance, and I grew up recognizing that there is a God. The God that was presented, I don't like align with that, but the underlying aspects of there is a God, you do have a purpose, and being loved by siblings and family was the foundation for me, and
Right.
I'm eternally grateful for that.
Absolutely. Yes, and it leads you to, or it leads me to the place of where I am now, just being eternally grateful for, the presence, and of course, God. Just my family background with, the religion, it wasn't pushed. It was, God was always there. God is, what we pray to. This is Jesus, but it wasn't too pushed or explained and things like that. And to get back on it, when I guess maybe 2017, something like, I wanted to go to church. I wanted my children to have maybe that foundation of church. And it actually kind of did help me along my journey, because where I went to, we had affirmations, we had positive and, things like that. So it kind of is a space in my journey too. But just being able to look back on the religious aspect of it, and knowing that it connects with where I am now. And I remember being actually in churches. I've always felt it. And I remember one time just being so consumed and so connected. And I passed out. And I remember the ladies over me saying she's glowing. I could feel it. I could feel myself glowing, but I never saw it. And then I remember later, like I said, going with my children, I was always in church and I'm just praising and I'm just feeling just the energy and the spirit of it go through me, and I'm just the only one, and I don't care. And it was a mega church and I just not care. And I'm just yelling. Is a tone. It comes out like it's just there. And I'm just grateful for it. It's unbelievable. So yeah, just the background of things, and the where I am now, and just the understanding and realization is amazing. And I sit and meditate, or just just go through. I'm still evolving. So it's great.
That it is. It's like moment and moment of the moment.
Look forward to the next moment, but you're living in the moment, but it's like
And then there's an infinity of moments to come, and then it's just gonna keep on going and going and going and going. And it only gets better from here.
wow. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I don't know if you guys know that it was a lady on when I was on was it Earth Awakening Village? I forgot what was which it was a solution event. And I met with this lady named Kima. And she is amazing. And she can probably, if she sees this, she's gonna be like, oh, because in my down times, I still have times where I'm not so smiley. Just because of what is transpiring, what was transpiring, because that is past. And you will just give it a past 2-3 days, just life transitioning and happening and just aligning and resonating and agreeing with what you're saying. Then it's like, yes, that infinite is just happening and transpiring. But she has actually helped me, and we prayed and we've just come together so much, and she's just offered me so much. It's just been amazing for that support. But just knowing that, like you just said, that infinite that she just gave me was just a lot. Yeah. Yeah, definitely great. Right space, right time, and things come along the way and align in the way that they should. So nothing that you go through in life is without a purpose. Everything has a purpose, and it means a lot.
Yes, it does. And I honor you for taking the initiative and to recognize that there's still things in here, and that we're on this journey of remembering and also balancing what we've learned with our past and with our future and where we're going.
Yeah,
Um, I see it as like a trapeze artist, like on a tight line. Like it's this act of balancing each present moment as we continue.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I want to express gratitude again to you, Portugal, for being here fully present. Like your time does not have a price tag on it; it has infinite value. So thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. And um, the links to reach out to you will be in the description of this video. So just thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, my kids that came out of well, thank y'all so much. It's
And
amazing.
I just want to say thank you as well for both of you being a lighthouse and just shining so fucking bright that what is darkness?
What is it? What is it?
Yes. So we'll end it here. Thank you. Uh, remember to stay blessed. Remember to stay multidimensional and
Absolutely.
continue experiencing.
Yes. Namaste. Thank you.